Hi everyone. We're in the midst of this virus at the moment, and giving me a bit of chance really just to look at some of the jobs I've been wanting to do for a little while, and one of those was the fork seals on this nice little Honda CB500. Now I haven't done many fork seals, I must admit, but this was the first chance for me to have a look at all the videos out there and see roughly what the assembly or disassembly is like. And it looks quite straightforward, but it seems there are some special tools that you need. Now, being that we're in the midst of this virus, it's very difficult to get hold of these tools because, well, there's just nowhere open. That's the problem. So it's a case of make do, I think, in that situation. So I had a good look around the garage, see if I could improvise with making a tool. Now you can buy specialist tools. The ones which you'll see in the marketplace are specifically for particular bikes, specifically for certain forks. You'll find others which are just universal, and the ones you probably see is the ones which clamp around here. They have a double clamped head here, and it's a slide bar operation to slide these elements in. And the video is not about how to service a set of these forks, it's more about how do you get these final components in without wrecking them. So that was my task. I looked around the garage, I thought, well, could I just find something, a sleeve of some kind to slip over it, which would have worked. But this is just a plastic sleeve to get a feel for things. It may or may not have worked once. So I thought, well, okay, that isn't any good. So I romped through my garage and I came across my sockets, and I thought, well, if I found a big socket, surely that would do the trick. And I couldn't find any of my normal sockets, so I went to my big socket set. And this is the socket which I came back with. It's a 36mm socket. It's quite a hefty old tool because this is what is used for doing the central nut on a hub of a vehicle, so VW vehicle. This was bought specifically for VW Audi stuff. So you have to crank off that big central nut so you can pull the hub away. But I had two of these for some strange reason. I don't know why, but there you go. And so I thought, well, can I use that? So I measured it really against the parts required, and as you can see, it sits pretty much bang on the face. So I thought, well, okay, that's good. It still also needs to fit inside here, because when these individual components are slid on, we start with this bush that goes in. We then have the washer which goes on, and the final part, the delicate part, is this seal. So really you don't want to be smashing down with a hammer or getting things in there which can A, damage the tube, and B, just destroy everything that you're trying to put in, because sometimes they're tight, sometimes they're not. So I thought, oh well, I've got two of these, let's take one apart. So with a grinder I literally cut off half of the tool. You can see it's there. With an angle grinder, basically took it apart. Now the great thing about this is that I find it slips absolutely perfectly down there. Now, right, in my case I didn't have to buy this, or I did buy it some time ago, and I've used it only a handful of times, so it's a relatively redundant bit of kit in my garage, and especially as I have two, why not see if we can make a tool with it, which is what we did. So I'm just going to go through this assembly, show you that probably this is cheaper to buy than it is to buy a kit. Now if you've got one bike, a regular bike, has certain fork size, then maybe you don't need too many tools, you just need to adapt it and make something which will work for you. So here we go. This is sliding on the ring, the bush, that drops in, make sure it's sitting well. I then put the washer on over the top, and from there it's just a case of sliding this down. As you can see, it's going down really well. And that's it. That final clink is definitely where it's bottomed out. Perfect. Now I've already pre-siliconed this to give it easy over this pipe. So it should go on easy. So slide that over, drop it down, it goes in initially. This also sits directly, as you can see here, from the old seal. This sits directly on its shoulder. What you don't want it to do is sit on this inner lip. This is a bit that does the sealing, not this bit. So what I wanted to do is try and get something that hit the actual wall of this thing, which it does. And again, down we go, down, down. I think you can hear that's pretty much bottomed out. Last thing is the clip. In it goes. Satisfying click. It's right the way down and it's done and it's home. So I don't know if that's any good to you. It was certainly cheap for me to do. Allowed me to do it without going out of the house. I had this stuff here. I just had to reinvent. So if it's good for you, it gives you a bit of help, that's great. Thanks for watching.